Welcome to the Luxury Channel with Archie Luxury. Today I'm going through viewer emails, and we've got a couple emails that have come in, and I must say this segment is proving to be very popular. And I've made a few adjustments. Instead of showcasing only my watches, I'm actually showing beautiful pictures of watches that I've photographed and also other watches that I've seen around the traps. So I'm trying to add a bit more variety to the channel, so let me know what you think. Okay, let's go back to viewer emails. Hello Archie. My name is Nicholas. I'm 37-year-old and live in New York. I have a collection of watches from Franck Muller, Martin Braun, Breitling, Corum and Omega. I would like to hear your opinion on the Martin Braun EOS in rose gold, which I bought in 2004 for $18,000. I'm not sure if the movement is ETA or in-house. At the time I didn't know much about watches. I also drove a Mercedes SL 500 at the time and was making upwards of 20 million. I don't know how many zeros he's put there. Anyway, I would love to hear your honest opinion of the Martin Braun EOS in 18K rose gold. Nicholas, the only thing I could ask you is how much fucking coke were you doing at the time? I mean, why the fuck you would spend $18,000 on a Martin Braun? Let me guess, you bought it retail? You didn't negotiate any discount either? Fuck me dead, you New York boys, you really know how to spend money. No wonder America's in the shitter. I mean, fuck. Martin Braun, what the fuck were you thinking, Nicholas, when you bought a piece of shit like that? I mean, $18,000 in 2004... You could have bought a really nice Patek. You could have bought a nice Audemars Piguet, like a Royal Oak. But fuck, you bought this piece of shit. Look, the only thing I could say is, I mean, look, let's look at the other watches. You've got a Franck Muller. He's another cokehead. I mean, you got a Martin Braun, a Breitling. Well, the Breitlings are okay. A Corum's fucking hard to sell. An Omega, you don't really go into what models you've got there, but fuck me dead, why the hell you would buy a Martin Braun for $18,000 is beyond me. I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous. I mean, man, stay away from the coke. That's all I can say. I mean, fuck me dead. That is just a lot of money for a... I don't know why you bought that. I really don't understand that. Okay, next viewer email. Okay. This guy here is his 412 Firearms. He's having a go at me for attacking Singaporeans. Well, I got nothing against Singaporeans. They're just hard fuckers to deal with. If you've ever been to Singapore and you've tried to buy or sell a watch with a Singaporean, it's fucking hard. He goes on to say, also, quartz is shit. It is for women who couldn't care less about the inner workings and craftsmanship that goes into making fine timepieces. Well, Martin, sorry, well, you know, this is 412 Firearms. All I can say to you is at the time, quartz was actually invented by the Swiss. And Patek Philippe was one of the leading houses to develop quartz technology, as well as Rolex. And for you just to go and say, oh, quartz is shit, this is shit, well, you know, I don't know what to fucking say to you, you know? I mean, if you want to be simplistic and carry on like a fuckwit, well, that's your choice. But quartz was really, in the 70s there, it nearly killed the Swiss industry. And quartz, you know, I don't care what anyone says, it's accurate. Okay, just fucking tone down a bit there. You go on to say, agreed that Panerai and JLC are in two different leagues, and Panerai is bullshit. But you said Panerai is Richemont. Richemont is also Jaeger-LeCoultre. He goes on to say, I believe someone else even posted that comment. Well, the thing that I'm actually going to say is that Jaeger-LeCoultre had a really good range, a really good history before Richemont took it over. As far as Panerai goes, the brand really had only been floundering. It was dead for a long time. It only got resurrected, and then Richemont came in and took it over. I mean, Richemont is really more of a marketing company than a than a, well, you know, I think the touch of Richmond. You look at most pieces. Once Richmond comes in, it's the pre-Richmond pieces tend to be worth more. Okay, we've got another email here. Hi Archie, I have a 1950s Imperios solid gold 18K gold chronometer handed down to me. Information on the company is very slim online, and was wondering if you knew anything about the brand. It's a bulky piece for the period, and I was wondering if I could send you a pic and maybe you could provide me with some info. Great channel, find your commentary hilarious, love your vintage VNC watch. Yeah, I must say, I've just made a video on seller's remorse because I've actually sold my Vacheron and Constantine, but Imperios, look, I've never fucking heard of that brand before. I mean, the thing is, in the 1950s and 60s and 70s, there was a whole army of Swiss mid-tier sort of makers, and I think Imperios is just one of those sort of brands there. Look, it's great that you've got one handed down. You should see the piece of shit I got handed down. It was just a piece of shit, small size, stainless steel back, chrome plated fucking front. I mean, that sounds like a nice piece to get handed down to you. Well, you know, a lot of these mid-tier, sort of medium-tier watches, they're nothing that special. But that's okay. It's been handed down to you. That's great. Okay, moving along there. We got one from Megan and Peter. Love your videos. I have two watches, a Rolex Air King. This is the newer version. And also have a Rolex Submariner LV. This is the version with the black dial. So the older version, an M series. Blah, blah, blah. What do you think of those two watches? I think one word there. I'm sorry to say, they're fucking boring. An Air King and a sub. Fuck. You know, I don't. Look, the sub's okay. I'm not a great fan of the LV. That's the green version there. The green bezel, I should say. Air King, yeah. I don't know. It's very. I wouldn't have bought those two personally. I would have. I think the Explorer 2 is probably a nicer watch, and the Explorer 1 is nicer than an Air King. That's just my view. But it's your money. You've got to spend it how you want there. I think those two are just very boring. That's just my opinion. You go on to say you got them at 20% off retail. Well, fuck. I don't think that's it's certainly not quality. It's certainly not bargain buying. That's all I can say. I mean, fuck. They're two mass-produced, high-priced pieces. Not much money in that. So there we have it. That's my roundup of comments that I've received there. Please keep the emails coming. I like answering questions, and I'll tell you what I think of your timepiece that you've bought. And keep the questions coming and emails going. On a final note, I'll just add had one other email that was interesting. He says, "Hi Archie, great video on your Patek Philippe stories. I was wondering that, as a good idea, it might be, he's going on to say, have I got stories about my day dates that I've had in the past? And I love going into jewelry stores and clocking the assistants widening their eyes at the president, thinking this guy is minted." Yeah, that's a very interesting thing there, I must say. You know, it's probably one of the reasons I don't wear a day date these days, is that I don't like that sort of attention, because the attention of shop assistants is only to flog you other crap. I mean, you know, this is the serious thing. I mean, if you're really a connoisseur of watches, there's a lot better pieces than a day date Rolex. I mean, Rolex is a great brand. I love it. I love it with a passion. But if you're after a holy grail piece, do you really want a gold medallion sort of piece? And you know, shop assistants scrambling and running. I mean, look, this is the whole reason I really wear a Patek Philippe, is because it's discreet. It doesn't need to be nouveau riche and obnoxious. And I will say one thing. I remember this. I was harassed by this Amway salesperson one of my hobbies besides luxury goods is what would you say? It's one of my hobbies besides watches is the disgust of Amway. I can't stand Amway. And I remember this one Amway salesperson came to me and said, he showed me his watch. He had a Rolex Datejust plastic two-tone, and he said to me, he said, look how well I'm doing in the business, in the Amway business. And I just said, I had my Patek 5107 white gold on there, and I said, well, you know, I could never aspire to a watch with gold on it. Look at my no-name Swiss thing. I showed him my Patek. I said it's just a no-name small Swiss manufacturer, and it's not even. I could never aspire to gold pieces on it. And he just looked at the watch and said, yes, that's why you should join the business. And I said, well, maybe I'm just not that type of person. And I kind of, you know, just hilarious. The beautiful thing about a Patek is that it's not made for people to big note themselves or to sort of be obnoxious like that. It's the price of a brand new car, but it's just so discreet and so tasteful. And when people really do know the watch, you know, they go, wow, that's a Patek Philippe. And I've just started a new job, actually. Archie actually works for a living, contrary to what a lot of people might think. And my boss, I'm an IT specialist. My boss is my managing director. He's a Breitling fan. He's got a bit of an interest in luxury goods and things like that. And he saw my I commented on he wears a Breitling. I commented. I said, oh, nice Breitling. He goes, oh yeah, I like watches and blah blah blah. I said, oh, well, I've actually got a Patek. He goes, give me a look. I showed him my Patek. I was wearing my Royal Oak at the time, and he goes, wow, that's just beautiful. And he said that's he quoted a figure, and I said, yes, that's right. It's half a year's salary, and he just said it's a beautiful piece, and that's the thing. People in the know these things. It's the people who aren't in the know, the Patek is completely oblivious to, and that's why discretion is such a nice thing. Vacheron's another brand which is like that. Vacheron is fantastic. I must say, I love Vacheron, and he's just got a charm to it that quality Swiss watches have. And I must say, do you really want to be a shouting violet? Do you want to be discreet, or do you want to be loud and obnoxious? And sometimes it's just so nice just to be discreet, just to be soft with your collections. You know, you don't want to big note yourself and attract unwarranted stares. You really want to have it's good to have people who respect fine watches, understand what you've got, but you don't really want to be loud and obnoxious. And as my tastes have matured, that's why I love the Patek brand so much, because it doesn't attract that element. Thanks very much, and don't forget to come to my website, www.luxurytolast.com. Thank you.